If you're watching this video, you're probably in the same boat as me where Overwatch 2 isn't really currently fun, but I have some suggestions on how to fix it. My name's KPowdery, and this video will be split into two different parts: hero balance and competitive. I think that these two build off of each other. Hero balance first, and then we'd go into the state of competitive. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right now, Overwatch is suffering from a really bad power creep amongst every single role, pretty much creating GOATs v3. If you don't know what GOATs are, it's pretty much nothing dies until ults get popped, and this makes every role awful to play. Right now, if we look at the state of the game, tank isn't really fun because you feel like you're constantly getting targeted with every single debuff in the game, whether that be anti, discord, hack, or stun getting sent your way. Or if you play DPS, DPS isn't currently really fun because it feels like you can only play a small pool of heroes that only have burst damage as their main value. So you feel like you aren't getting anything, adding anything to the game, and you feel like you're stuck playing Soldier, Bastion, Ashe, Hanzo, Sim, Widow, and maybe even Sojourn. But I don't know so much about Sojourn. Then there's support. Support feels like crap because while you're overtuned and you can duel almost every character in the game with the insane damage and insane healing numbers, the moment you show up in a fight, you're immediately focused. Why is this the case with every single role that they are very, very strong, but all feel really, really bad? Probably because Blizzard has done more buffs than nerfs, but that's not my place to talk on. The main issue that I see a lot of people not talking about, but I do believe is an issue, is role passes. Role passes are just the abilities that happen throughout the game passively. On paper, these don't seem that bad, but the three that are currently in the game are what causes the majority of the problems with the game. The current three that are in the game are that tanks have reduced knockback, DPS gets a faster reload per kill, and support automatically heals over time. These on paper are really good, but then some heroes become insanely broken off of them. The main reason why support is so strong in the game is because they do not get punished. If they take damage, they play behind cover. They don't peek anything for a few seconds, and now they're back up to full, ready to duel every single character in the game again. Or with DPS, whenever they get a kill, you have the issue that was back in season 1 where DPS just becomes unkillable machines because they're just able to put out insane amounts of damage. And then the tank passive only nerfs Lucio because realistically every other character's boop doesn't have nearly as much of an effect as Lucio. Now what do I suggest? I suggest that they remove role passives out of the game and make it hero passives instead. There are already a few cases of this, such as Kiriko being able to wall climb, Lucio being able to wall ride, Genji's stumble jump, Bap's high jump, Sombra being able to see enemies that are low through walls. These are just a few examples of what's already in the game, but I have a better idea for it. Make it so heroes themselves get a little bit of assistance towards their counters. This solves two main issues in my opinion. First, the counter picking in Overwatch. Right now, Overwatch is just rock, paper, scissors, meaning that you're always trying to pick the counter of the enemy team. It's been this way, and it's been a problem since Overwatch 1. And people simply do not enjoy having to swap off their heroes because they are getting hard countered. And two, I believe that it would in proxy make tank more fun to play, since without the second tank to support your weakness, you can help yourself. These are a few passives that I have as a suggestion. Something that they can do is Roadhog anti-heal effect only affects him like 50%, so the timer and damage is reduced by 50% towards Roadhog. So instead of it being up for like 6 seconds, for example, it would be only up for 3 seconds, and the initial damage being 50, it would do 25 instead, you know? Or Orisa and Genji, because they're weak to beams, can do 10 to 15% less damage from beams. This isn't great, but it's an idea because right now if you play Genji, you will immediately get hard countered by Zarya, Sim, Mei, and then have an awful time. You can also throw Moira in that mix. Same thing with Orisa. You'll just get hard countered. or Reinhardt having a, in air quotes, heroic spirit that if he takes 1,000 damage to his shield, he has reduced 10% damage coming into him. These are just a few spitball ideas, but I do believe that this would make every single role a bit more fun to play because you don't have to swap every time somebody picks your counter. Also nerf Lamp giving 50 HP to anyone below 50. For this segment of the video, I will be talking about ranked. By now, everyone who played Overwatch should know how the rank system works, but if you don't, it's a card system that only lets you see your rank change when you either win 5 games or lose 15. There is a more in-depth video by Eskay, linked first thing in the description. I highly recommend watching that if you want more information on how ranked works. Anyways, ranked fucking blows. Why do I say this? Because you can be in a gold match, right, playing with diamond players, or in a top 500 match playing with GM4 players, or in a masters match playing with platinum players, or platinum players playing with silver players, or even going as far as platinum 1 playing with bronze 5. What the hell are we doing, Blizzard? I have my own test example here where I am silver 3 on console. Console is not my main input, but I can play with my platinum friend is on DPS, but I'm silver on support. But over on PC, I'm gold on support, and I am so much better than these silvers, and we just dominate our lobbies. It's one, not fun to just constantly stomp these lobbies, and 2, it's not right that I should be able to, because we are in 2 whole divisions apart, with the middle division in between us. I don't care whatever awful take a lot of people have to say, but this just shouldn't be possible. You should only be able to queue within 1 division apart, so I would say gold with plat, but not even any type of gold. Like gold 5 shouldn't be allowed to queue with platinum 1. It should be like gold 3 to platinum 3. You guys can all queue together because you guys are all within like the same skill range. And therefore it would be a much more fair matchmaking system. And then over in like GM side, right? I'm not GM, so I can't really talk too much, but I still do think that being top 500, you shouldn't be allowed to queue at GM4. It should be like GM, whoever's in top 500. If you're in like GM1, you should only be allowed to queue within GM2, because that's like saying over on Overwatch 1, you have an account that's 4,700 queuing with an account that's 3,900. It's ridiculous. That just shouldn't be a thing to begin with. It makes the games less competitive and makes the losses feel like you literally couldn't have done anything in your power because you were simply playing against better players. This goes for both console and PC side. Another thing I'd like to see happen one day is a mode where both console and PC can play ranked together. It would be called something like the crossplay pool. Controller gets to keep their aim assist, and keyboard and mouse players get to play with their friends in ranked. This one will probably never happen because of the massive disadvantage that controller would be at. Whether or not you play on console, you have a higher field of view over on PC, so therefore you get more information. But how they could do this mode is make it so you can only queue this mode if you have somebody who is on PC and one person who is on console. So there would be no solo queuing, but I could easily see how this can be abused in the highest levels of play. Another thing that they can do is remove role queue and add 5-stacked ranked again. That was from a few seasons ago. Editor's note: at the time of watching this video, I think Flats has an amazing take for this, so I'm gonna insert this here.
Common, I believe, and it's especially popular in PC bang culture, because you sit down on PC to go play games and you only have a certain amount of time. And you can't sit in queue for 10 minutes. You want to get in a game, go, 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 go. And because open queue, you just need 5 players per team. You don't need tank, 2 DPS, 2 supports. It's a much faster queue time, and people just bang out games really fast. So it's much more popular outside of NA. But I do agree with you, it doesn't feel... but it's a culture difference. Like, we have to be somewhat respectful of that.
Why do I say remove open queue? Because it's a massive joke with nothing competitive about it. To be honest, Mystery Heroes looks more competitive than open queue, because at least in this mode, if you get bad heroes or heroes that you don't play, you have to try a whole lot harder to win, and then it makes the matches tend to be a closer experience overall. And then you also get the matches where you have no supports on your team because the game gives you awful RNG, so... But overall, I don't think Blizzard will even change OpenQ or ever do anything with ranked because they like hiding a lot of information. So that's all I have to say for this segment. Well, those were just a few suggestions that I had on how to make Overwatch a bit more fun and how to kind of like fix the game where it's at right now. If you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them in the comments. I want to have a big old conversation about this, and also spread this video because I need this conversation around here, because it's like right now Overwatch, I love this game, but oh my god, is it so hard to play. But anyways, my name is KPowdery. I hope you guys have a good one, and bye.